This is Southern Cross News with Rachel Williams.
Good evening. People across Australia have paused today, remembering our fallen soldiers on the 99th anniversary of the armistice ending World War I. 13 Tasmanian veterans have been recognised with special headstones as red poppies were laid across the state.
Almost a century since the gunfire stopped and hostilities ceased on the Western Front, a moment marked in history as World War I came to an end. Today remembering those who paid the ultimate sacrifice defending our country, pausing on the 11th hour of the 11th month. Wreaths laid for those who were lost and those who continue to risk their lives in conflict. 13 Tasmanian war veterans today recognised at Ulverston, with headstones placed on their unmarked graves.
It was close to both our hearts that no soldier should be laying in an unmarked grave.
There was a big crowd here, more than we've ever had in any other Remembrance service, and I think the community will get in now and keep this going.
John and Ken spending 6 months repairing the graves of our fallen diggers for today's ceremony as the Headstone project continues its important work.
There is still one or two unmarked graves. It's their intention to finish those off.
Poppies remaining a symbol of the bloodshed as younger generations learn about the courage shown by the diggers no longer with us.
It's growing every year, and it's lovely to see the school children want to be involved as well, and so it's very heartwarming to old veterans, to see that legacy continue and for them to come out and pay their respects.
Many with a special reason to show their appreciation.
My dad did 6 years in World War II, and to remember all of those that have fought, that have passed on, that are still with us.
Serving for over 20 years in the Army, and knowing people from that era who have now passed away, I think it's very important to acknowledge their service.
A service that continues to be delivered by some of our bravest. Jacqueline Robson, Southern Cross News.
A revised flight path has the Dunalley community on edge and angry. Residents say the noise of up to 30 flights a day is impacting their daily lives, but the company in charge claims the change is for safety reasons.
Local residents today venting their anger at a community meeting.
It's unreasonable, and they've put us on the back foot to begin with. So we arrive angry. It's not going to get very far, is it?
We moved here for the peace and quiet from Victoria on the Mornington Peninsula, and then this happens to our dream. We couldn't believe it.
Up to 30 flights a day started travelling directly over Madonna, Boomer Bay and surrounding towns in mid-September.
They haven't asked a single one of us what we think. We are the stakeholders, are we not? We own the properties.
Today's meeting, hosted by the company in charge of the changes, was the result of community frustration at the lack of consultation.
I've lived here for 30 years. I can't just get up and move.
We've got a process here today where people can leave their feedback. Certainly getting a lot of that.
This issue is an added stress to a community still recovering from the devastating bushfires of 2013.
I know a lot of people are already on the edge from what they've been through.
Air Services acknowledge it could have done things differently, but says it's now too late to return to the previous flight paths.
For safety reasons, both for the way the air traffic controllers process aeroplanes and also to make things less complex for pilots. So the route design reduces complexity.
They really raised it from documents I've seen under Freedom of Information is for efficiency.
Residents here today are raising concerns about the times and frequency of the flights, with many claiming the noise is so loud it keeps them up at night.
I haven't slept properly for 2 months, and it really wears you down.
It just travels through your body and it's just intensely disturbing. So I've been woken up on a number of occasions.
Air Services says the earliest it could approve a different route is March next year. Louise Hedger, Southern Cross News.
The Greens have been accused of capitalising on controversial upgrades on Bruny Island for political purposes. A new car park at the neck of the island has sparked debate, with concerns it's tarnished the iconic view.
It's the view Bruny Island is famous for, but the Greens say a new car park has tarnished it.
There is no doubt that that car park is a brutal scar on that beautiful view from the neck.
A view so popular, the previous car park couldn't accommodate the visitors.
It's about fixing an issue that's generations old, which is people accessing the neck, and obviously it's a challenge.
We know that people have been calling out for proper facilities on Bruny for a very long time.
The local mayor says proper process was undertaken with road safety and animal protection at the forefront. The new car park hasn't stopped these tourists getting their snaps, photos on social media showing just how prominent the car park is. Calls today for a community-owned tourism plan.
We're concerned that the car park that's been finished still won't even deal with the number of tourists at the moment in peak periods. So it's not a plan, it's a band-aid.
The tourism peak body says there's already a long-term plan for the island and the Greens are clutching at straws.
There was a destination action plan released 6 months ago. That's had a lot of input, a lot of community ownership. Perhaps Mrs Woodruff needs to pick it up and read it.
Jacqueline Robson, Southern Cross News.
A two-storey family home has been gutted by fire, causing $500,000 damage. The Headstone family managing to escape the blaze, which investigators have deemed accidental.
A large family home in Headstone stands ruined. Windows are blown, the roof partly collapsed. The extensive damage caused by an intense fire.
It took a few hours to get it fully under control.
It all started just before midnight. Parents and children were home when a faulty handheld device ignited. Luckily, everyone made it out safely by the time firefighters arrived.
We then set up an external attack and combated it from the outside. At that point in time, it was too dangerous to go inside.
This morning, more than a dozen firefighters surveyed the damage, both on the ground and from high above. As a precaution, the TFS says electronic devices should never be left unattended. The damage bill from last night's blaze is estimated to be $500,000. Tom Johnson, Southern Cross News.
The North West Coast has picked up a swag of honours at the Tasmanian Tourism Awards. The West Coast Wilderness Railway was named the state's top tourist attraction, one of 5 winners from the region. Salamanca Market took out gold in the Major Festivals and Events category, while Mac 1 was dubbed Best New Tourism Business. A special award for Joseph Cromie named the 2017 Tasmanian Tourism Champion.
It was a chance for us as an industry to pay tribute to an icon of Tasmanian business, but also someone who needs to be recognised for what he's done for the tourism wine industries, which obviously have grown under his watch.
The award winners are now in the running for the National Tourism Awards. Wild waves and isolation awaits a Tasmanian teacher preparing to circumnavigate the state. The solo journey on board a small yacht has a noble goal, aiming to raise thousands of dollars for Tasmanians with melanoma.
With a fresh lick of paint, Peter Williams will be good to go. The 54-year-old schoolteacher is about to set sail solo, navigating this small 27-foot yacht around the state.
Not a lot of room on a small 27-foot yacht for books, so I've downloaded about, I think, 20 gigabytes of books to read.
Even with close to 40 years of sailing under his belt, this adventure is by far the most extreme Peter has attempted. His journey is inspired by fellow Tasmanian Anne Steele, who recently swam Loch Earn in Scotland from one end to the other. She raised money for melanoma, a cause Peter is also fundraising for.
That east coast is an amazing piece of water, but then that west coast can really throw some sort of nasty, hairy waves.
Peter aims to raise $7,200, which is $10 per nautical mile he will travel. If he reaches that figure, he'll be on cloud 9.
This trip is going to be fantastic for me, but there's no reason why I can't share it with Tasmanians.
He sets sail on Christmas Day and will spend 2 months on the water. Tom Johnson, Southern Cross News.
The Taruna Football Club is hoping to secure financial support from the state government for a major upgrade to its facilities. With a growing membership of more than 250 registered players, the club says it's time for a revamp. The change rooms are currently being shared by both men and women.
Look at Sundays, you'll have like a social men's game playing, and that might be followed up by an under 15 female game, so they're trying to get changed in the change rooms while the social men are coming back out. So yeah, we see it's a pretty big problem.
The redevelopment would see 4 change rooms and a clubhouse at a cost of $500,000.
Good evening, everyone. 19 in Hobart today, Launceston with a state's top of 25. That was shared with Bushy Park, Medina and Ouse. 18 in Bruny, while Devonport reached a top of 17 degrees. Elsewhere around the states, Taruna and Grove 22, Flinders Island 21, 19 at St Helens and Lyowini, a top of 17 for Low Head. On the satellite, low cloud near Tasmania with an extensive cloud band to the southwest, thunderstorms across the centre of the country. On the close-up, a large patch of low-level cloud about the southwest there. Tomorrow, a high remains near Tasmania, extending a ridge along eastern Australia. Coastal waters and southeast to northeasterly winds at 5 to 15 knots, reaching 20 knots about the northwest, swells to around 2 metres in the west and south. No warnings for tomorrow, so onto the forecast. Hobart, a cloudy start, 21. Richmond, 23. A mostly sunny day for Ouse, 26. A fine day in the north, Launceston, 25. Devonport, 18. Deloraine, 22. Bruny tomorrow, fine and 18. A sunny day for Strahan, 22. 19 at Curry on King Island. In the east tomorrow, St Helens a top of 20, 21 for Swansea and a mostly sunny day for Whitemark, 22 degrees. The UV forecast a high 7 in Hobart, very high for the remainder. As we look ahead to the 3-day forecast, fine and mostly sunny on Monday. Tuesday, another sunny day for the entire state, and on to Wednesday, fine day until showers develop in the west during the afternoon. Capital cities, Perth and Darwin, a shower with a possible storm, 33, still warm. Brisbane and Canberra 24, Sydney 23, Melbourne a sunny 26 degrees.
Well, that's all your news for now. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a great evening, and I look forward to your company tomorrow night at 6. Bye for now.
Vice President Holden's 2,432. With not long a sovereign state, it was home to just at a time that tested our young nation.